Good evening and welcome to the Acushnet Historical Commission meeting for May 14th here at 6:30 at the Town Hall. This is in the Finance Committee room. May I have a motion to open the meeting?
I'll make a motion.
I second.
And second, okay. Madeline.
Yep.
Okay, so we'll do the pledge tonight. There's no flag in here.
All right, you want me to read the minutes?
The minutes from the April meeting.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay, let's see. All present except for John.
Yep, well, he's...
A selectman would be moving monument at Old Library to Parting Way grounds. The time capsule will be found and moved. Must try to find a way to get into the old library and see how bad it is. I think that's still important for us.
Yeah.
Well, he won't let me in.
I know that, but there's gonna be a way. I'll find out.
Breaking and entering now.
Okay, someone from the Historical Commission should be allowed to get inside just to check the place out.
Of course.
State is cutting back on funds for local programs. Cut back funds will be a problem for preserving buildings. Meetings for the last meeting accepted.
Yep.
Community Preservation Commission put surcharge on utility bills to pay for improvements to historical buildings. Problem is voters will reject. Must try to find a way to get code exemption on historical buildings so they can be used.
Yeah.
Hamlin Street cannot be taken care of because mill does not belong to the town. Am I right on that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, all requests must go through selectmen.
Yeah.
Flagpole at museum must be repaired, pole to be painted and pulley repaired.
Yeah.
Problem is machine needed to reach the top. Still looking for old pictures of building and places in town. Meeting was adjourned at 7:30.
Okay. May I have a motion to accept the minutes?
So move.
Second?
Second.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, so we accepted the minutes.
All right.
Okay. Now, about the old library,
Nothing yet?
Mr. Kelly told me that we cannot go in there. He said the fire department is not even allowed to go in there. Nobody is. Because of the condition.
Your building can't be that bad.
No.
I think what they're afraid of is because they had told me that the ceiling had fallen, and I believe it probably is the ceiling in the lower level. Must have come down,
Still.
Yeah, sounds
you
like...
know, and they're probably afraid of asbestos and everything that could be in there, you know?
Has there been any word on the sale of the building?
Nothing, I haven't heard nothing.
So when is the next selectmen's town meeting that we can attend?
The town meeting has been
Coming
moved
up, isn't it? Pretty soon?
June 17th. They changed it from June 3rd now to June 17th. That will be town meeting. And that'll be up at the school on Middle Road.
Will they vote?
Oh yeah, there'll be,
No, I said,
all the items
is that
will
where the
be,
meeting is? Isn't it where they vote?
yeah,
Okay.
the residents will be there. Hopefully we'll get enough people there to vote.
Now, I found that my wife has been watching the TV for the selectmen's meetings, and I found out this week we have a bicycle commission.
That's brand new.
Yes.
That is brand new.
Now, do you know the name of the gentleman who runs it?
I know Laurie Bates is on there because I saw her on the meeting on TV. They were showing the meeting, and only her and one other lady showed up.
Oh.
So they really didn't go through with the meeting. And I think it was at the Council on Aging.
Well, I know that they're looking for members.
They're looking for members, but 2 members resigned because the selectmen on their meeting tonight accepted the resignations of 2 members, a man and a lady.
On the bicycle commission?
Yep.
Really?
Right?
So they only go probably a couple of members, period.
Oh.
And Laurie Bates is one of them, so I need phone lists again, so
Yeah.
you
I know
guys,
they're looking for members.
all right, Laurie Bates's phone number is right there, or email her. Email her with the,
She's on that.
she's the one, yeah, she's one of them on the, and John, there's a phone list for you.
Oh, good. Good, perfect, good.
Yeah.
Yep. Very nice.
Okay, so you could call Laurie or email her and ask her about it. Tell her you're interested. See where that goes.
Okay.
Okay. So yes, new business,
All right,
June
one other
17th.
thing that I found out, or she did, actually, she's driving me crazy anyway. The budget allowed for the historical commission next semester or whatever it is. I don't know how long it lasts.
Every year.
Every year, it's only $9,000.
That's all we get.
That's all you get.
I think I might have got a little bit more this time.
Really?
I
Well,
thought it was
that's
8.
what was on the TV, was $9 grand.
Yeah.
So,
And that, with that money, I run the meeting house and the museum.
what was I gonna say?
Electric
Is
bills.
that enough?
It's close, but I just got 2 bills for electric in both buildings and telephone. I'm gonna bring those bills in tomorrow. And I just had an oil delivery. Every oil delivery was $600, $700.
It was horrible, yeah.
Oh, horrible this year.
Yeah.
But yeah, I still got money left over in my account, so. But last year I had got a raise because they gave us a, what do you call it, new line item? And it was for like office supplies and things like that. Because I was making copies and the pictures that I was having framed. So that came under that, covered most of what I did last year.
Yep.
But that's for both buildings.
Okay, is that a total number of buildings that the town owns that are historical? How many are there?
It's
Perry Hill,
Perry Hill Church,
the museum,
the museum, the meeting house.
Where's
The Quaker Friends Meeting House is 1 mile up from the museum.
Yep.
1 mile up, near
you
Quaker
mean
Lane.
up, you mean further out?
Further out on Main Street.
What is it, the,
Quaker, or Friends Quaker Meeting House.
Yep.
okay. And that's the 3 that,
Those 3, the library is the town building.
yeah,
The new library too, I believe, is still under the town of Acushnet.
the new what?
The new library on Middle
So
Road.
that's a historical building also?
Yes, that's
But
the
that-
school.
That doesn't need any work.
No, they've been doing a lot of stuff on that building.
Yeah.
Yeah, they have. Because I go there quite a bit. And
I have my meeting for the society there, it'll be Thursday night.
Okay. So with the $9,000, there doesn't seem to be any major construction allowed this year. Am I right or wrong?
Well, that's only the budget to run the buildings. That's for like your heat, electric, telephone, or, you know, the oil
Why,
and all that.
is there more available?
Oh, that's where CPC comes in. So if you've got any ideas of something that you want to do,
Well, do any of the buildings need major construction,
Well-
reconstruction?
right now, the museum has been doing pretty good. See, what happened was I used to get in touch with the sheriff's department
Mhm.
because they had the work crew.
Yep.
And that's how we were able to have the museum painted. And I think we did it twice or 3 times since I've been involved. Okay?
Does it need it again?
Well, the back side of the buildings, for some reason or other, never got completed.
Oh,
So I talked to the town administrator and also the boys that work for the town that do the little work, odds and ends. They cut the grass and all that.
yep.
And I've talked to them, so they're aware of it. So I don't know if they're gonna be able to do it, because even then, they're gonna need a lift truck. You know, something to be able to reach the building. That building is tall.
Yeah, I know, but like you said before, that stuff isn't cheap to rent.
It isn't cheap, but there again, if the building needs work, then what I have to do is go to CPC and ask for the funds.
Was I gonna say now, is it possible to get the back of the building painted and the flagpole?
But the flagpole, the fire chief has been out there to look at it. And I saw him last week and he said to me, I will be calling you, but he's gotta make sure that he's got enough guys on duty that day so that the fire department's covered. Because if they go out there with a ladder truck, that's gonna take 2 guys or 3, okay? He said that he would be able to do it, then he's gonna call me and let me know when he can get out there, but he's gonna have the coverage
So the fire department can probably take care of
of
the
the flagpole.
in due time.
I don't know if they're gonna be able to paint it though, that's the only thing, that's gonna take time, and I don't think they can tie the machine up that long.
No, I guess not. Okay.
And the other thing too is I've had the DeRoche brothers do a lot of work for me too on the museum, and even on the meeting house they've done a lot of work. But with the meeting house has its own funding. In fact, if you guys have a chance, you should go out and take a look at it, because the paint is chipping in a lot of places on the meeting house. So they've changed things around now so that they have a board for all the what do you call the funds that are, oh my God, I can't think today. My brain is dead. You know, the meeting house has that fund where we can't spend the 100,000 that was originally put in there. We can only spend over. I can take that money to do whatever we need at the meeting house. But they've changed it now where they've got a committee. Pam is on that committee with John Roy from Middle Road. There's another guy too, there's 3 of them. So we'd have, what I'm assuming, and I gotta talk to Pam about it, I would probably have to get 2 or 3 bids and see what it would cost to have that building, you know, fixed up, touched up where the paint, where it really needs painting. I don't know if that'll get done this year because DeRoche is so booked up with work. I don't know if we can do that. And the town guys, I mean, they've got the 2 boys now from Old Colony, but right now they're doing cutting grass. They have to maintain all these buildings.
Oh, sure.
You know, with the grass.
Yep.
They've got to do it, so that's their job. So I might have to hold off until next spring.
Well, we gotta do what we gotta do, right?
That's
Yeah.
right. That's
Now
right.
the museum for CPC, remember I put in asking for the money for the fence on the south side, okay? As far as I know, that everyone's approved it so far, so that's going to town meeting.
Okay, the fence has been approved.
The fence was approved by CPC and the selectmen. So now it goes to town meeting to get the final approval, and then I can get the funds. And call the fence guy.
Been approved by who? The selectmen,
CPC
CPC,
and the selectmen.
and the selectmen.
And I believe the finance committee also.
So at this meeting for the town where the selectmen will be there, we could maybe find out a little more if we open our mouths about the library.
You can't do that at town meeting.
They don't take
No, because a town meeting, they're gonna have,
an agenda.
there's a name for it, what do they call that? With all the items listed, and you gotta vote on them one at a time, okay? You're allowed to speak, you know, on that particular item.
Will your library come up?
I
We don't know.
I don't think so. Not that I know of. Maybe, I don't know.
Is there anyone that we can find out what's going on? Anybody we can ask? or
Oh
like-
yeah, I can ask Kevin, the one that was out there, the selectman. You just missed him.
Oh, dear.
But I complained to him about the Hamlin Street Bridge. Nobody has been there for over 3 weeks. Nobody's working on that bridge. So one of my neighbors, I guess, was really upset, and he called the state, raised hell with the state. What's going on here, you know?
Yeah.
We live on this street, we have to go through Main Street. I know even when I leave the house in the morning, 6:30, 7 o'clock, I hit all the school buses, and I hit all the traffic coming from Rochester. It's a full line of traffic, where before I could shoot out Middle Road at clear sailing to go to work. You know, so it's a real pain with it being closed.
Was I gonna say, what's taking so long? It should have been done.
They're not even there working.
I know.
There's no heavy equipment there, there's nothing. What you see, when I went down there last Friday,
Well, who's in
actually,
charge of the,
it's the state.
The state?
This is all being done through the state. But I put a bug in Kevin's ear out there, and he said, I'm gonna get on top of it.
Yeah.
He'll make some phone calls and find out what's going on. Something's
They
gotta be
didn't
done.
know, they didn't know it's not being worked on?
Oh, he could tell because he said he took a ride down there last week and he could see there's a huge mound of dirt in the street
Yeah.
and it's barricaded all over the place. So you look, they've got like a cement platform where the water runs through.
Yeah.
That part of the bridge is gonna be cement. Beyond that is a huge pile of dirt in the street.
Yep.
No equipment whatsoever.
Oh,
Nothing. Nobody's working there at all.
frustrating.
so how do you complain to the state? Who do you complain to?
I don't know. My neighbor did. He called up there and he raised some heck, so I don't know who
Did he
you-
call? No. Because, you know, that's, like you said, that's been what, a year now?
July, right? It'll be July, will be a year.
Yeah.
And they said 3 when they first started.
3 years?
3 years.
Talk about slow.
Cold molasses running uphill.
Yeah. Sounds like the state.
That sounds like the state, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's where we're at.
Okay.
What I'll do is I can call Kevin and because I already bugged him tonight about the street, about the bridge. I can call him and find out what's going on with the library, see if they can tell us a little more.
Who's gonna man the museum, you?
Myself and Katie, one of the members of the society. We're open from 1 to 3.
And that's for tours, or do you just, people can go just take a
They
look
can,
around?
they come in, yeah, they ask questions, we, answer the questions, we show them around. We just had some work done at the museum, we had all new window shades put in upstairs in the clothing room. Oh my God, what a difference.
Yeah.
The shades in that building, they're green on the outside, white on the inside, gloomy, so dark and,
Yeah.
You should see the difference with the new shades, all white. But they're room darkening, so we can pull them down to save the clothes,
Yeah, oh yeah.
But what a difference. So now we're getting a price on the other room and see what that's gonna cost to do. We're working on it, we're trying to keep these buildings going.
Of course.
Like I say, right now, as far as I know, the meeting house is off limits. I even talked to Mr. Kelly about doing a car show, which I used to do up there every year. And,
Any word on the car show that's supposed to be in town here that
Oh, I
got
don't-
canceled for 2 years?
I don't know, I haven't heard nothing about that either.
Okay.
What you should do, call the selectman's office and talk to Sydney, the girl she's the administrator's assistant. Talk to Sydney and then she'll go right to Mr. Kelly and say, this call came in, they want to know about this, and she'll get some answers for you. I've been trying to see Mr. Kelly, he's been so busy with this town meeting stuff that I haven't been able to catch him in there. They're in meetings all the time, so.
Yeah.
Okay, so, all right, so town meeting will be June 17th.
Yep.
Still looking for pictures for the Perry Hill School. Yeah, this background is the school,
When did they tear it down?
1944. I think the last document I've got on it was 1944, and they took all the wood and used it to build the
Legion.
Legion on Hope Street.
That don't make sense. What is it gonna say, where was the school?
Right at the corner, Perry Hill Road, you go around Mendel Road, this is where we had the little park all cleaned up, the scouts did it.
That's where it was, right
That's
there?
where, there's still part of the foundation on this side, near the neighbor. There's still part of the foundation there. It was a good sized building.
Well, it must
It
have.
was a good sized
Did
building.
they only have one class in it?
I guess it was all open for one class, but it looked almost like a 2-story. It had a big peak roof. If you look at some of the pictures, the ones that Gary gave me that were they weren't very clear, it resembles a church. It's almost identical to what the church looks like, and that was the school. Yeah. So, and I've been trying to find pictures. I've asked everybody about pictures, and just like the old meeting house that was over here where the fire department is. That old sign, you remember the old 1903 sign that was outside on the ground? They refurbished it. It's hanging up in Potting Ways. So if you go in there, you go in, you look straight ahead, it's on the wall. He did a beautiful job painting it. And the meeting house is there. In fact, I went to the town clerk's office today to get some information, looking for old maps. I'm looking for an 1830 map of Acushnet. I've got documentation, in fact I showed Pam, that says all the one-room schoolhouses that were in town years ago, there was like 9 of them.
Really?
Yeah, it's on the 1830 map, shows all the schools. I cannot find an 1830 map nowhere. I've gone online researching, asking for antique maps.
What was that, the early 1900s?
1830.
1830.
It's an 1830 map.
Well, here's a question for you. Since the town did not officially come into being until 1860, is there any building over in Fairhaven that might possibly have such a map?
Do you know the lady that was at the library in Fairhaven that knew only historical? She passed away.
Oh.
I talked to her quite a few times. She was such a knowledgeable person.
Yeah.
She passed away, so I don't know who's doing it now.
Because what one would have to figure, there's got to be some old thing in the original town that this was once a part of.
I mean, I've even inquired in Dartmouth.
Yeah.
Because it was part of Dartmouth, part of Fairhaven, even part of New Bedford up here near River's End.
Yeah, yeah.
Now it's part of New Bedford. The only other thing I can think of is to go to the assessors in New Bedford and see if they have old maps. They might have one, you know, that goes back that old.
I wonder if there might be maps, perhaps in some dusty hideaway in the Registry of Deeds from way back.
Not some of those maps we were looking at,
Yeah.
that back in the 1700s or 1800s.
You were looking at maps?
Well, some of the,
I found a few.
yeah, some of the properties that we were looking at,
Yeah.
they had a map of, right, the street map of a
Yes.
certain section of the town.
Yeah.
You know, there's got to be, like you said, at the Registry of Deeds, there's got to be a map of the town.
You know who may help us? There's a guy in there that does all the
Yeah.
photocopying and so forth.
I tried to reach him too with no luck.
Anytime I've been in there, he seems to be present. He seems able to help out, but
They gave me his phone number.
yeah, yeah. No, but if there's anybody that is apt to know where the oldest stuff might be, it's him, I should think. Because I've been in there a number of times and he's always been helpful to me, so.
What about the print shop, the one that's right there alongside the Registry of Deeds? The fellow, it's a print shop.
A print shop?
Yeah, it's right
Oh,
here.
yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah, you see a sign for it at the side of the building.
Yeah.
I don't know if that would have anything, but certainly no harm in asking. I might be in there sometime before the week is out. I could just question them.
Question him.
Yes.
If the 1830 map of Acushnet, that's
Yeah.
all we need.
Yep.
Yeah. And right now, like I said, we have no luck.
Because I would think in 1830, they hadn't even concluded that we're going to break away and become a separate town of Acushnet. I don't think that name even had come on anybody's lips.
I don't know.
Yeah.
But I've got it written right down there, and what the paper that I have
Yeah.
that gave the information was put together through the state.
Yeah. That's no guarantee of anything, but go
I
ahead.
know, and it's got all the information about the town, like way back when how many houses,
Sure.
doing like in districts, you know.
Yeah.
It has a ton of information, and it says in there, the 1830 map of Acushnet shows the 9 schoolhouses, the original 9.
Oh my goodness.
But I can't find the map.
So were they all,
One-room schoolhouses.
yeah, but were they all around the center of town?
Oh, they were all
Were they
around.
spread out?
Well, like Potting Ways, they're calling Potting Ways a school now, but at that time, it wasn't a school.
Well, when was Potting Ways built?
1903, I just saw that date today, I think 1903.
Yeah.
And that's on the National Historic Register. I got that one on the register, I got the museum on the register, and I've got the district. I did those three things when I first got on the society.
The what? The district?
The River's End,
Oh, okay.
that's the historic district. Did you notice that big sign? Wasn't you the one that painted it?
Yeah, I painted it.
You painted it?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so originally the only building that was on the National Historic Register was the meeting house. And that goes back 1795? Brain's not working today. It goes way back, the meeting house.
Yeah.
So now we've got the meeting house, the museum, Potting Ways, and Rivers End, the district.
Yep.
And that's why...
That's all recorded on...
That's all recorded, all done through the town and everything, all done legally. Yeah. And now, once we go to town meeting, if we get the funding, we're gonna start on the Perry Hill Church and try to get it on the National Historic Register. Because once it's on the register, then we can try to apply for grants to get some of this work done.
Yeah, I would think it would be more difficult for them to put you off if it were on the register. You know, because that would show that some people care, some people are interested.
I have been fighting for that since 2011. I've got documentation at home, I could fill a box.
Oh,
A cardboard box.
I done it for one moment, yeah.
In fact, I asked Pam today for another box.
Yeah.
I said, I gotta start cleaning my house out and bringing it to you. I got so much, oh my God.
Yeah.
But if we get the money at town meeting, which I'm assuming we're gonna do it, we'll hire the preservationist and she's gonna start all the paperwork.
Sure.
A lot to it, a lot of pictures and everything, a lot of stuff she's gotta go through. Try to get it on the National Register.
Yeah.
Okay, so, I did send an email to the history teacher at Old Colony to see if she had any students that might be in need of community service hours to do some research. You know, I never heard back.
Well,
I sent a direct email to the teacher, the
Yeah.
history teacher, and have not heard a word back.
well, where would they be looking if they said, yeah, sure, we'll do some work?
They'll go to the registry.
Oh, yes, of course. Sure, okay. Yeah,
They
but
would
see,
be doing the research for us.
yeah.
I
Yeah,
have
see,
that
until
time.
1837, as you may know, that is when they finally split the county up into 3 different registries of deeds. Before that, everything was in, I'm trying to remember if everything was in New Bedford at that point, or what it was, or everything was in Taunton, but they
Oh,
broke
might have
it up
been
into-
Taunton.
They broke it up into 3, I thought about 1837, and that, because it was so ridiculous to make people who live way up in the north have to come all the way down, and all this stuff, and they broke it up into 3 pieces.
But it is very time consuming, as you know.
Well, yeah, but at least you got the wheels of a vehicle under you. That's a little quicker than, you know, horseback or something.
I just haven't had the time. I
No,
can't
no,
get down
it's
there.
tough.
It's very hard. What about that fella, that Brian you had told me about? Did you ever contact him to see?
Heck, I was talking to him 2 days ago, but, you know, we weren't talking about that. But, well, if he knew, yeah, I mentioned it to him, but that was a number of weeks ago, and what he did, knowing that some people were interested or did not do, I couldn't tell you. But I was talking to him a couple days ago, but the subject did not come up. But I'm apt to be talking to him sometime between now and Saturday, and I'll just remind him of it that...
Is he retired or is he?
No, he's younger than all of us.
So he may not have time for the registry either.
Well, I don't know, he gets to all 3 of them at one time or another, you know, because he lives in the northernmost part of the county. He lives up in Mansfield. But, you know, you got highways, you can quickly get from one point to another. And he has had to do research, as have I, in all three of the registries at one time or another for some reason or other. So it's not like he doesn't know where the places are.
Yeah.
And, okay, I will remind him. In fact, I could probably talk to him. I found a good time to catch him is about 25 after 8 in the morning. No, because he has not yet gone out wherever he's going.
Yeah.
He sometimes stays home and does stuff, or he will go to the 3 counties, the 3 places. Occasionally he needs something on the vineyard, and I can get him that, you know. And he does go to Nantucket even. So, but I'll just tell him, you know, that there could be some work to be done right here in town.
Ask him about it. See what he.
I certainly will.
I mean, even if I have to.
Yeah.
See if I can get some funding from CPC.
Yeah.
I don't see why not. I don't think it'd be a huge amount, do you, John?
No.
I mean, it's time consuming, that's the only problem.
I'm not sure if that even that is the case. If you had a pretty good idea what you wanted and what year it was involved, you know, he and I, I'm sure a few other people have done enough research that it's not as arduous as some people make it out to be. No.
Well, not if you've done it before, you know.
Yeah, but the thing is, if you've done it a few times, you just follow the same
pattern you know where to look
each and every time, and most of the time you're going to find something if it's there. If it isn't there, then you look and you just say, look, I don't know what's wrong, but I'm not finding this. Yeah.
The only problem is I've got about 20 files already at home that need research.
Well, you won't know anything until you talk to him, right?
No.
And mentioned that he's got plenty of files and he possibly could get paid.
Yes. No, because see, I don't believe he's all that wildly busy just now. You know, he goes through, you know, spurts of being busy and not busy.
Well, if you talk to him, find out how much he would want.
Yeah, find that out first up front.
I don't think it would be a king's ransom either, because he can get stuff done fairly promptly.
Well, like I said.
Well, the only problem is we don't have the funds.
Yeah.
We would have to gather some funds.
Well, it can't be more than what, a couple $100?
Yeah, I mean, I can't believe that it could ever run into anything more than that. And if he was paid occasionally partial payments, he's not a hard guy to deal with.
Yeah, I mean, a couple of $100 can't be hard to get from the town.
No.
Okay. All right, so starting this Sunday, May 19th, the museum is going to be open from 1 to 3.
Yep.
And it'll be like every other Sunday. The only time it might be a little bit hard is when it comes to around Father's Day. We just made, you know, Mother's Day, but Father's Day will be coming up. So if it is, we might skip it. It'll be skipped 2 weeks.
Yeah, you're not going to get many people going in there on Father's Day of all time.
No, we won't even open.
Yeah.
Oh, and the other thing too, the museum and the meeting house have alarms.
Yep.
They've been set up for years and years.
Yep.
I mean, long before I ever took over, they were Ben Barker he's from Raynham.
Yep.
It's his alarm company, but he's been ill, and his wife called me last week to tell me that they sold the business.
Oh, God.
So, Wayne Electric and Alarm Company from Fairhaven,
Yeah.
they're the ones that bought them out.
Yeah, the alarm system's working now.
Look, they're working fine, they're all set up. But where he sold out to this company, now I'm going to be getting the billing from them, but they're going to have to go in and see what's there.
What buildings have alarms in them?
The meeting house
The museum?
and the museum.
Okay, the meeting house and the museum.
Yeah, yeah. So I've been waiting to hear from them because they're supposed to send me like a contract. And to be honest with you, I don't even know if I can sign that legally. I'll have to bring it in to Mr. Kelly and ask him about it. He may say, go ahead, you're head of the commission, but...
Are these alarms connected to the police station?
The museum is... the meeting house, I'm not sure. The meeting house has got a different system. Because it was further out. And I think they had kind of problems there with the wires and the poles. it was a big thing over there, but there is, and I believe it is hooked up to the police and fire. I know the museum is, because when I get a call from the alarm company that the alarm is going off at the museum, she tells me right away, the fire department and the police department have been made aware. I go out there, they're there.
So
And they've got keys.
why was the alarm set off?
It depends, sometimes even a heavy windstorm will set it off.
Oh dear.
Yeah, especially the one at the museum, yeah. The meeting house, I have never had a problem with that building, and it's surrounded by trees and everything.
What is the street address of the meeting house? I'm trying to visualize.
It's 1341 Main Street,
Oh, okay.
and the museum is 1203.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
I know them by heart.
Okay, so 13 what?
1341.
Okay.
It's just before Quaker Lane.
Oh, all right, yeah, sure. I mean, I'm at 1236, so that's not very far from there at
You're
all.
pretty
Yeah.
close then.
Yeah, yeah, he's close.
Yeah.
And the museum is 1230, so you're right there.
Yep. No, I've
Okay.
been at the museum before, but not lately. It was a number of years ago, and I was fascinated. You know what really fascinated me? You may recall, many years ago, they altered the boundary line between Rhode Island and Massachusetts in order to put certain land in one state or the other, and they had to have congressional involvement. And I said to myself, wow. So in other words, the boundary line, the way you see it right now, running between this county and Rhode Island, look quite different for...
Really?
Yes, but you don't hear much about it because it's a long time ago. As long as it's settled, it's not currently any kind of controversy.
How long ago? 100 years?
Oh yes, at least. Yeah,
Well,
this is quite
those
some
old
time.
timers are not here anymore.
Yeah. No, it's...
No, we're the old timers.
Yeah, we're getting there for sure.
yeah.
Yeah, we lost another friend right here in town too, the tree warden, Norm Fredette.
Oh, yeah? Oh, I knew him.
You knew him?
Oh, yeah.
64 years old. He's going to be at Boulevard Funeral Home. Passed away last Thursday.
Oh gosh.
How old was he? 63?
64.
64, that's pretty young.
Not even old enough to collect security or nothing. And he was a hard worker.
That happened to a friend of mine, retired at 65, and 1 month later he died.
Yeah.
He didn't even get his first check.
That's rough.
And
That's why
and you know what thing about Social Security?
Yeah.
If, like when my mom died at the end of August,
Yeah.
Yeah.
so that was a month after she got her check. Well, they made me send it back.
Send it back.
Yeah.
Yep.
I couldn't get over that.
Yeah.
But that's the state.
Yeah.
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 But he's been really, Norm was really good with us. Last year I called him, because he's the tree warden, I called him up to the museum because we did the fence on the north side, and we needed a lot of branches cleaned out. He came up there with the tree guys, he hires them up there, they did a wonderful job.
Yeah.
So now on the south side, I had a problem too, because a lot of the trees from Mr. Braley's property is over the fence.
Oh, sure, that's always...
You know,
that always
so
makes for a problem.
I called him and he says, we'll take care of it before your fence goes up.
So who's the new tree warden now, do you know?
Well, this just happened, so I think they voted, right? He got voted in. I think he got voted in, so they'll probably have to wait for elections to, I can't believe it. Nothing should surprise you anymore, so, you know. So, okay, anything else under old and new business? If you have any ideas going around,
Of course.
things that you might want to see done, like with the buildings or things like that,
Sure.
you know, let's talk about it, and that way I know
Yep.
next spring I can go to CPC and ask for funding.
Uh-huh.
Well, I can't think of anything that we would need right now, do you?
No,
Except
not
the fence and the tree cut and, you
Yeah.
know, everything else seems to be
Sure.
copacetic.
Yep.
I mean, the meeting house, pretty much that building has a fund that was left to it years ago to maintain that
So then you say
building.
that needs to be painted, the whole
The
building?
building is in, yeah, it's a lot of peeling paint.
Is there enough in that fund to paint the building?
Is it what?
Enough money in that fund?
I don't pay for that. What happens is that fund, I have to approach them. Now, they've got a board, which is different from before. I could just do what I
Yeah.
needed to do, you know?
Yeah.
As long as I come into town and say, look, this is what I need to do, I got an estimate on what it's gonna cost, then I could do it on my own. But now, with the board, it's different.
Yeah.
So I gotta talk to Pam and find out what I need to do. If I need to get 2 or 3 estimates, I'm gonna have to do that. But that building could use painting on the exterior,
Yeah, yeah,
you know? It's hard because that building has no heat in it whatsoever,
yeah.
you know?
And it has no involvement of the Quakers at this point.
Quakers are all in the cemetery behind. Oh, I just thought of something.
What?
Do you, Jagat? You remember Clay Jagat? Okay. I got a wonderful letter from a gentleman from Texas,
Yeah,
Tom Jagat.
yeah,
And he wrote in the letter, his family grew up on Quaker Lane. They were Quakers, belonged to the meeting house. They're in that cemetery. He was giving me the whole thing in a letter.
yeah.
And he said, when his father passed away, he got a lot of furniture from the father's house.
Yeah.
So he's got what they call a Windsor rocking chair.
Oh,
All wood. He sent me 3 pictures of it. That's what I meant to bring tonight to show you.
sure, yeah.
Beautiful chair. And it dates back to 1890 something. It was his great grandfather's. Passed down the line. So he sent me a letter asking if we would like to have it in the museum. So of course I saw the pictures and everything, and I said we would love to have that because we don't have anything like that in the museum.
Yeah,
So he answered me saying that he was going to have it shipped up to us.
sure.
And then on second thought, he says, I'm going to have it shipped to my cousin's house in Acushnet, and then I'm going to come up for a visit, and I will bring it to the museum, so he can see the museum at the same time.
Sure.
I said, oh wow, so I'm waiting to hear from exactly when he's coming up, and he's going to bring the chair. He's going to have it sent to his cousin's house. So Claire Jagat is his aunt, and I think Claire is in the nursing home, because their son and daughter-in-law are in the house on Main Street, right near the golf course. But yeah, he said all his family grew up on Quaker Lane. His great-grandfather, great-great-grandfather, he listed all the names in the letter. Unbelievable. Sometimes I get so surprised with the either phone calls, emails, or letters that I get from people that were born here in town
Sure.
and, you know, live elsewhere. And he's in Texas. So, that's more good information, so we'll be getting that donation. Okay, so the next meeting will be June 11th.
June 11th.
Okay, may I have a motion to
Adjourn?
adjourn?
So move. Second.
Second?
Yeah,
All in favor?
Okay, all in favor? 7:20.
yeah.